Welcome, dear ones. As you can see, we have finally landed and invite you to enter our special light chambers for all the light workers here on Earth who want to ascend on high to become pure beings of light.
Are you sure it's safe?
Fear not, dear one. The light chamber will help you get past your last trace of resistance to the light and to get beyond the physical sphere into the light of lights.
Why does everybody get their own lollipop?
It's a long line, dear one, and you may be nervous and need something to suck on.
It makes my tongue numb.
That is because there is something in it to make you more receptive to my voice, dear one, all to ease your nerves.
Well, I'm only nervous because I see people going in and nobody coming out.
Dear one, those who go in come out as beings of pure light. You can see the lights, can't you?
Those could just be spotlights or something.
Dear one, do not doubt. Just go inside and abide beyond the physical forever.
I think I'll pass.
Come on, Fox, you gotta go in.
No way. Hey, let me go there.
You gotta go in, Fox. You gotta go in.
Let me go.
You gotta go in, Fox. Welcome, dear ones. As you can see, we have finally landed and invite you to enter our special light chambers for all the light workers here on Earth who want to ascend on high to become pure beings of light.
Hey everybody, happy summertime from the Lucifer series. I've been working on a long Lucifer video about alien channeling, where I'm at with that, and that'll be coming out this week or the week after. In the meantime, I realized with this video I'm making, I hadn't said anything about the Galactic Federation of Light, a New Age cult, you know, where our star brothers and sisters are coming to save us. And the main entity is SaLuSa, and I thought I might talk a little bit about SaLuSa's name, because there's something really edgy that doesn't really quite jive with all the sugar and spice and everything nice going on with the Galactic Federation of Light, okay? Well, I'm Neil Fox. I created the Lucifer series on YouTube. I come out in most of my, animated videos, flash animated videos, and say,
yes, and hello from your Uncle Lucifer, here today to talk about whatever.
Okay, now that voice and that tone forbids that you take me too seriously. I do have a serious point to all of this, but it's mixed with a measure of humor and irony. The New Age is not big on irony, so... I'm doomed to be misunderstood. But I say to New Agers out there, I have some principles in common with you guys. A person's point of power is now. I believe that emphatically. I believe that past, present, and future parallel one another along overlapping timelines, and that probable universes parallel one another. And I'm very, very, very keen on all of that. The Lucifer thing, is to make people think and to confront them with the image of the serpent as a symbol of knowledge, which was the original meaning of the serpent before paganism was demonized in the myth of the Garden of Eden. And with all the bad of paganism, as it had turned decadent, also the good of paganism was thrown out with the bad. Okay? So that's one way of putting it. And it begins with that myth. And that myth is the box you're still in, the Galactic Federation of Light. They go on and on about how they're all with their space brothers up there in their Star Wars and Star Trek ships. And they're the good guys. And they even come incarnate down here in a kind of new version of the Ascended Masters thing, the old Theosophical doctrine that some few individuals from generation to generation help move the human race forward spiritually to a higher vibrational level of awareness, which I'm partial to through the Seth material by Jane Roberts. Seth talks about the speakers. So I'm not even, opposed to the Ascended Masters thing so much. I just don't like the lingo, how it's put. I'm not quite comfortable with that. But still, I'm with you guys on the here and now. I'm with you on reincarnation. I'm with you on parallel universes. Hey, I'm even with you on the Ascended Masters thing, man. I'm a cousin. So why do I call myself Lucifer? That's not good. That's bad. The Galactic Federation of Light people look forward to their mass landing of nicey nice aliens the same as Christians anticipate the second coming. In fact, Jesus is supposed to be on one of those ships out there. And the other aliens, the wicked reptilian aliens alleged to be behind all the evils of the world, are really just an obvious update on the big bad serpent of the old Bible story. There's a lot hidden in that old Bible story that the Lucifer series is about. A lot of what's hidden in that story that's Kabbalistic and not for everybody. But the surface myth is just an old piece of propaganda against the very knowledge hidden in the text. And listen, there's a lot hidden in the name SaLuSa that you don't know about either, and that the channelers themselves don't know about. Some of it you may have already considered or read about, and some of it you might not have. I can only go over a little of it here. Now, SaLuSa is the prison planet for the Dune novels by Frank Herbert. SaLuSa Secundus, it's called. In those stories, SaLuSa Secundus is a hell world, all right? As in hell, okay? The main thing is that the name obviously came up out of someone's unconscious, someone who's read the Dune novels. But let's dig into the irony of that particular name having surfaced over some other name that might have come out of the same set of stories. Now, the way Frank Herbert probably intended the name of his prison planet to be pronounced was not SaLuSa, but SaLuSa, a play on the Latin word salus. So in all likelihood, it would read SaLuSa Secundus, not SaLuSa. SaLuSa Secundus would just mean SaLuSa the second. So right there, SaLuSa fans might dismiss the identical spelling, just as the brighter fans might point out that SaLuSa's name is always presented with 3 capital letters, implying that 3 distinct names or concepts combine to unite with one unknown overarching theme of some sort. No doubt in some extraterrestrial language conveniently unrelated to any language on Earth. So the fact that the 2 names are spelt exactly the same in Latin letters could just be taken as a coincidence. I don't figure to reach SaLuSa fans one way or another. My videos about SaLuSa will be for people curious about all this. I'm also thinking about those of you concerned about a friend or loved one getting in deep with the Galactic Federation of Light thing. Now, essentially to you guys, I say, where I'm at with this is SaLuSa's name definitely comes from the Dune books, and those books do class SaLuSa Secundus as a hell world. Why would SaLuSa be based on a name this dark? That's an easy one. The sugar and spice of the Galactic Federation of Light movement, the forced optimism and the dominance of the right-brained, intuitive, imaginative hemisphere, or whatever you want to ascribe the airy-fairy atmospherics to, betray a lot of fear in the movement's conspiracy theories. And that fear is reflected in the name SaLuSa, the lurking doubts that even the channelers have about SaLuSa. Unconscious doubts, maybe, but then unconscious doubts are the deepest kind. This is what the shadow self is all about. Humankind created a boogeyman devil as an act of repression to bury the dark side, not to deal with the dark side. Whether the boogeyman devil is a person's private doubts, or a full-on supernatural being, or the great Satan America, or reptilian aliens, or whatever, demonizing what has you scared or uncertain is always a bad idea. So what about the name SaLuSa? Well, there is no Latin word that's SaLuSa. Not really. There is and there isn't. Most people would say there's just Salus, which means everything from greetings to deliverance. And I'm sure that this is what Frank Herbert had in mind for his SaLuSa prison planet, a deliberately ironic name. But hey, a kind of pseudo-Latin SaLuSa actually does exist. A SaLuSa distinct from Salus or any feminization of the word Salus. Not that Frank Herbert would have been aware of it or would have cared, but there is a SaLuSa on record spelt exactly the same as SaLuSa. Much the same as how the Latin term Lucifer came to be coined, this particular instance of SaLuSa is a bad rendering from the old Latin Vulgate translation of the Hebrew Bible. A matter of the ancient translator finding a name difficult to pronounce, so he decided to write it down as SaLuSa, which is what he made of the name Shilshaw. Go figure. The translator was trying to reconcile Shilshaw with Shalosh, a variant of the same name for the same person mentioned in 1 Chronicles. So it came out SaLuSa. Now, it wasn't as dumb as I'm saying here. The Hebrew word for three is SaLuSa, and Shalosh is just an abbreviated way of saying that minus the final hey there at the end. So the translator decided to fall back on that, play safe, and he probably meant it to be pronounced SaLuSa. Okay. But any Latin speaker reading it would probably pronounce it SaLuSa. All right. But what about the three words in one necessary to make SaLuSa work? If overall it's the exact same spelling as a Latinized way of saying SaLuSa, the number three, then what do the individual phonemes mean? The three phonemes that stand out as distinctly as they do in the same name that in itself means the number three. Don't get me wrong. SaLuSa could be a complete hoax made up by some guys online who thought it was funny to use the name of the Dune prison planet for their fictional entity. But hey, if that's the case, maybe the last laugh is on them. But that's another talk for another time, the same as finishing up about SaLuSa's name, and I will finish up about that. It's been on my mind because someone was brought into my group in LA who has what I would call alien abduction syndrome. Okay, and he was willing to work with us with the idea that what he was going through may not be a physical abduction thing. Okay. It was only because he was willing to allow for that I brought him into a certain kind of energy with all of this, because I had dealt with somebody who had a similar problem when she was getting away from a voodoo cult, and her head was all messed up from that, and she was having experiences. This was a little bit more complicated, and it took the whole group, and it's a very long story, and I don't know how much of that story is anybody's business. I like trying to protect people's privacy. But SaLuSa came up more than once, and I want to talk about SaLuSa, and I want to connect it with the Goetia and relate all of that to the law and the book of the law and Beelzebub's tells to its grandson. Okay. Peace.